Hey folks, it's Marty Paget here from Motor Authority. What would you do if Audi said, hey, why don't you come up to Malibu and drive a bunch of R8s for the weekend? No problem. We've got it today. We're driving the R8. Not only are we driving the V8 R8, but we're also driving the V10 and the Spider. By now you're familiar with the R8. It's been around since 2008, but it still looks fantastic after all these years. Somewhere between sports car and supercar, the R8 straddles the line with standard all-wheel drive and a choice of either V8 or V10 engines. Let's go on a little bit more about the V10 because we're going to spend a lot of time in it today. It's a 5.2-liter V10. The base version has 525 horsepower, but in some versions of the Plus we'll drive today, it's up to 550 horsepower. The red line's up to more than 8,500 RPM. And it's a rarity, but you could still get the V10 with a manual transmission. Of course, this year you might also want to try out Audi's new semi-automatic dual clutch transmission, but you won't want to miss the carbon ceramic brakes. And of course, you can't miss the Spider version. Who doesn't like a good convertible, especially when the weather's great and when you're in Southern California with access to great sweeping roads? Of course, the R8 feels right at home if you're pulling out of a mansion tucked into the Malibu hillside. But where it really feels at home is in the canyons, where you can let it wind out up to that 8,700 RPM red line. Now, we can't ever remember complaining about the performance from the standard V8. It'll still do 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds. But you're really touching on supercar territory with the V10 and the semi-automatic transmission. 0 to 60 is about 3.6 seconds. And handling is just phenomenal. This is one of the most balanced sports cars you'll drive. And it's something that's sure to put a smile on just about any driver's face, even if you're driving the coupe. Now get into the Plus versions that are new, and you'll add another 25 horsepower, and that's good for another tick off the 0 to 60 time. It's down to 3.5 seconds, and by the way, the top speed, it's up to 197 miles an hour. So what's the big difference this year? Well, it pretty much comes down to the transmission. You might not be a fan of automatics, and we definitely weren't as big of fans of last year's R8 automated manual transmission. Semi-automatic transmission, the dual clutch, it's fantastic. It shifts right away. It's much easier to control. And though you might feel like it's a little bit more of a video game than a driving experience, we challenge you to say that after you've run one through Latigo Canyon Road. Now, whether you choose the coupe or the Roadster, it's not easy to forget how practical the R8 can feel. There's plenty of room inside and plenty of luxury options. We love the quilted leather seats. There's more than enough room inside the R8's frunk, too. That front trunk will hold more than a couple of bags for a long weekend trip. We really never forgot how much we enjoyed driving the R8, but after spending some more time in the 2014, we really remember how much we love the V10. For more information on the latest R8, you can read a full review at TCC or follow us here at Motor Authority on YouTube and Facebook too. I'm Marty Paget. Thanks for joining us.